Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing the JMA plus TS indicator. But before we do, if you have not watched our first video and the videos after that, you need to go do that now. At the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below. You can also find a link to sign up for TradingView down below. If you use the link below, you will save a little bit of money. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform. On our Discord server, we are having great conversations about all things regarding trading. One of the biggest struggles on this channel is people who use other platforms like MT4 being able to follow along. Sometimes it can be hard to find the indicators we are using on other platforms. And so on our Discord server, I have created a channel for indicator creation. And on that channel, I pinned links to freelancers who can code indicators for MT or for TradingView. So if you don't want to create a TradingView account, you can hire a freelancer for a really small fee and have them code an indicator for the MT platform. Or if you are on TradingView and need an indicator created, something unique or an indicator for a system you have developed, you can also have them code PineScript. So use the link for either MT4 coding or use the link for PineScript. Lastly, I get a lot of people that are asking me for the entire list of all the winning indicators that we have tested to date. And whereas I am not a big proponent of gatekeeping information, I've put a lot of time and effort into creating the content on my YouTube channel. And so I don't think it is too much to ask for the viewers to go through and view the content that I've spent a lot of time creating. Now, if you are not interested in supporting our channel by going back and watching the content that I have created, then I have developed a solution for you. I've created a Patreon account. I will put a link to it down below in the description. If you sign up for Patreon and you sign up for the $9 a month account, I will send you the full list of tested and winning indicators to date. I will also send you an updated list of the indicators that we are testing at the end of each week. Now, of course, you have to stay subscribed to the $9 monthly subscription, to continue to receive the updated list of indicators. But that way it will provide me with the support that I need to continue to provide the free content that I am putting out for everybody to view. Now, if you just love the channel in general and want to support us, then there is also a lower, I think $3 Patreon subscription that you can sign up for that will also help support the channel and keep things going, so that way I can continue to produce the content and the open information that we are creating here in this channel and in our Discord server. Again, if you have not signed up for our Discord, then you need to do that as well. It is a absolutely free platform where we have real-time ability to chat and have conversations about trading. And again, if you want to support the channel with Patreon, then you can find the link down below in the description. All right, as I said, today we will be testing the JMA plus TS indicator. But before we do, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 130 indicators. And out of those 130 indicators, 53 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you can take any one of these 53 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. All right, so today's indicator is the JMA plus TS indicator. So this is an interesting indicator. It is a TradingView member created indicator, and so you can find a link to it down below in the descriptions. Now, all in all, like in general, this is not a difficult indicator. There's not a whole lot going on with it. But there is two parts to this indicator. And one part is basically a moving average. And so the creator explained it as the moving average. So the JMA part is created from a script from one of the other members who creates indicators on TradingView. One of the rather well-known creator of indicators here on TradingView. I believe it is what is it? Evergets, I believe it is. And so you can look up that TradingView member, and you can go through their scripts and see the different indicators that they have created. Now, the other part, and let me dissect it here a little bit. So we have the moving average line here, which is the line that is turning red and green. And so basically the buy and sell signals are the moving average line here that is turning red and green. When it goes green, that is a signal to buy. When it goes red, that is a signal to sell. So pretty simple setup. Now we have this second line here, and it's the orange line. And this is the little bit, what I consider to be a little bit more fascinating part of this particular indicator. So moving averages, I mean, we've tested all kinds of moving averages, and for the most part, moving averages are kind of moving averages. I mean, we did a whole series of videos where we did a head-to-head on testing moving averages against each other. And, they're not all created equally, but, in the realm of possibilities, moving averages are kind of, moving averages. I mean, they kind of function, all, relatively in the same way. You have a line, and either two lines cross, or price action breaks, type of deal. Calculations obviously can be different, which will change the moving average one from another quite drastically. But like I said, all in all, moving averages are kind of moving averages, and we've played around with those a lot. And so this particular indicator isn't really that extraordinarily special compared to other moving averages. But the one thing that I did notice that it has, that again I thought was rather interesting, was this orange line here. And so the creator of the indicator explained it as it is it's an indicator that was built off Alex Grover's A2RTS script. And so basically what that means, if you go look at it, is that it's a trailing stop. And so this indicator kind of has two parts. It has the moving averages, which tells you when you should be buying or selling, but then it has this orange line here, which is a trailing stop. And so it has a stop indicator, an exit indicator built into it. Now, the reason why this one kind of caught my eye was because it's now I don't know the exact calculations. I haven't dug into it specifically, but often the best indicators will adapt themselves to price action. And so a lot of traders will use just like a straight moving average to determine when they should be exiting trades, for example. And a lot of the times, the moving averages don't react fast enough or don't have enough, they don't put enough emphasis on calculating in what I call the weight of the price action. And so basically what that means is that a standard moving average, it's pulling its calculations off of, one set thing. The relatively speaking, I mean, you can enter in different periods and stuff, but it's calculating it all the same. And that's basically the close or the open, however you designate what it's calculating off of. The open or the close of candles, and that's about it. Now, there are some indicators that will add in an extra layer where they are taking into account the volume or the ATR as it is changing with price action, and it's what I consider to be weighted. And so it's taking other things into account to weight it in specific directions. And so I've seen a few of these before, and they always, kind of pique my interest. And so you can see here, for example sakes, how this orange line is morphing itself to hug how price action is moving, but it is also giving it a lot of distance as it's doing it. And so you can see instances where when a good trend is taking place, it's giving it lots of room. But then when it starts to range and starts to kind of reverse, it snugs into it rather quickly. And in my opinion, those are some of the best exit indicators that you should be looking for. An exit indicator shouldn't just be putting a blanket calculation over when it is telling you to exit your trade. Because often what you get is you get these instances where you get a quick, strong pullback and it stops you out just for price action to continue back in the original direction, which you could have maximized your profits off of had you stayed in it. And so, yes, I feel like and the reason why I bring this up is because there are a lot of the viewers out there who are asking about exit indicators. And again, it's really hard for me to pinpoint and test exit indicators if we don't have a good entry indicator in place first. You have to be able to enter the trade at a good point for you to be able to figure out what is going to be the best exit strategy or exit indicator to use. And so it just so happened that I pulled this one up, and it kind of has a twofold, what could be a reasonable entry indicator combined with what I feel like could be a really reasonable exit indicator. And so it's possible that we could just isolate out the exit indicator part of this, the trailing stop indicator, and use that instead of using it as a whole system. So with that being said, we're not going to be testing the exit indicator portion of this. We're going to stick to the way that we test all the other indicators. We have our take profit and our stop, and once we hit that take profit, quote unquote, hypothetically, we would just exit the trade. Now, of course, in real world trading, that's not how we would do it. We would let the trade ride out. We would take half profit and move the rest to break even, and then let the trade ride out until our exit indicator tells us to exit. And so, but in this particular case, I'm going to leave the orange line on screen here, so that way you can view how it is reacting to price action as the moving average is getting us in and out of trades. Now, of course, like I said, the moving average is pretty simple. When it turns green, that's a signal to go long. When it turns red, that's a signal to go short. Now, as far as exiting, basically what you have is the orange line hovering above price action in short, in the cases of a short position. And then when it flips down below, very similar to like the parabolic SAR, when it flips down below, that is that would be your indication to exit the trade. Or the creator also said if the moving average flips in the opposite direction, that would be a signal to exit the trade. But you see here, again, on this one, it rode this move out pretty well and really seems like it caught a good exit point. And so, yeah, like I said, we'll just be basically testing the moving average to see what it can do. But beyond that, like I said, it is worth keeping the stop, the trailing stop in place just to see how it reacts as well as we are taking these trades. So with all that being said, let's get on with trading here. So we are right here. Okay, that's the beginning of the year, right about there. Hadn't quite got a signal there, but we get a short signal right there on that. So it's a little hard to see where it's, let's see. There we go. So right here, it gives us the short signal to go short. Let's map it out here and see if we get to take profit. We did not. So first trade and first losing position. Now let's go over here, see what we get on this one. So we get this here. That would have barely got us in to take profit. And then it would have come down here. Would have stopped us out at break even if we were actually in. Let's see, it's throwing a short signal right here. And see that we get some movement downward. We see that our exit indicator jumped up above here. So that's a pretty good sign. We get kind of confirmation at that point that there's a good move heading downward. We wouldn't have gotten stopped out, and we would have definitely hit take profit at this point. Now, if we would have been in this position, we would have been stopped out for break even here, but gotten half of a position in profits. And boom, you see here, now we get a signal to go long, and right after the exit indicator drops down below, kind of another good sign that a move is taking place. Whereas over here, what I noticed is that when it went short, when it gave us this short signal, the exit indicator, it sat here and rode this range market here for a second in consolidation, and the exit indicator never flipped up above. And so that was a little kind of a little tell that it's possible that position wasn't going to work out for us. And so let's see, we get a long position right here. It jumps up. We definitely take profit out of it. Let's ride this out some and see what happens. Exit indicator is trailing it nicely, and boom, right there it would have called the exit of the trade, which worked out pretty darn well because this thing started to make some moves downward, and that would have given us, let's see, so we would have been in here to that point. That would have been 280 pips that we would have picked up there. Half position at take profit at 110, and then an additional 170 pips on a trade. So that would have worked out really well for us in that favor, in that trade. Now we see that in this particular case, the exit indicator jumped up above as it was starting to move its way downward before the moving average actually called the short position. And so that's kind of interesting because it led the moving average in calling a short that could be taking place. So yeah, interesting. And we would have definitely gotten take profit out of it. Let's go back here. I didn't mark off that trade that we would have gotten there. I didn't. Let's go ahead and there we go, mark off that trade as well. And let's follow it out here. See there, we would have gotten stopped out for break even. Now it flips, and it's interesting again. Both the indicators on screen flipped at the same time. Had a super gap up there, and so that would have gotten us to take profit for sure. And then it continued to go up. Now the exit indicator trailed right up against it. Nice. I am really liking what I'm seeing with this exit indicator. So let's see, it flips there, but our moving average, it never gave us a signal to go to the short side. Let's see, we would have been exited out there. Just keep an eye on what price action does here. Go, so it finally flips a short. And so what I'm looking for is at this point, as far as the exit goes, where would have been a reasonable place to kind of exit out of this trade had I just been eyeballing it. And to be honest, let's see, we came up here, then we bounced up here, wasn't able to make, and in this area it definitely would have gotten rather obvious that this move was not going to be able to make much more distance in the upside. And you can see that it called the exit way back here a lot earlier and was pretty darn close to that area as well. And so that is something really decent. Alright, let's get on with some testing here. Alright, so we then get a short there. That worked out in our favor as well. Let's Let's keep an eye on our exit indicator and see what it's doing. You see, as we're starting to get consolidation, it starts snugging up really tight to price action. And there we go. Called another really decent exit, in my opinion. All right, so that would have been all in one. Then we get a signal to go long. Would have been right here. That would have definitely got us to take profit. Now we see here that it flipped on us. So we get a signal to go short on our moving average, but the exit indicator was hugging along with it there and hadn't flipped yet, and was still letting it ride out there. And so you could have used this as a extra confirmation to whether or not this trade was going to work out. But of course that gets a little hairy back there. But yeah, so in this instance we would have gotten stopped out for a loss, but then the exit flips over here. Let's see what it does. There goes the moving average, giving us a signal to go short. That would have worked out in our favor, and the exit indicator would have stopped us out at a reasonable time. Now we're getting a long position over here. The exit indicator seems hesitant to give us confirmation. Oh no, actually it's already in the lower position. My mistake. So it already has confirmation there. And so not only is it working as an exit indicator, but it's also kind of working as a confirmation. And so you see it led the signal to go long over here when it flipped down below, telling us that it's very likely we may get a long signal in the near future. And it did. Let's see, we got to take profit. So we got a winning trade out of it. Oop, and there it takes off. Let's see what our exit does. It's floating along. You see it doesn't flip up above, even though we get a short signal here. And that short signal ends up stopping us out. Then we pick up another long signal right there. Let's see what it does. That goes in our favor. Now it's plugging along here. Looks like we picked up a short there for a second. Yep, we did. That one would have gotten us stopped out, unfortunately. And it's starting to flip to the short side now. Then we get some confirmation from the exit indicator, but let's see. We are now at the end of the year. So there we have it. All right, let's add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we have 15 trades all together. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 wins. So that that definitely meets the 60% criteria. Again, I was not as concentrated on the moving average, the entry, as much as I was that exit indicator. I feel like it really has something there. And so for all of the viewers out there who keep asking me about the exit indicators, which again, I don't mind at all that you guys ask. Um, but again, sometimes it's hard for me to pinpoint specific things without having other things in place first. And this is one of those instances where it just kind of happened to work out that it was part of this indicator, and I noticed very quickly that it looked like it was doing a really decent job as an exit indicator. So I urge all of you viewers out there, take a look at this indicator, dissect it a little bit, use that exit, and see what you can do with it. I think it would work really well. So, all right, this one's going to go on the yes list. This video is getting super long, so I gotta cut it here, and we'll move on to the next indicator from here. If you have not already, like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. As part of the team, it's important that you are seeing the new videos as they come out so you know what it is that we are discussing and what indicators we are testing, have tested, and have not tested. Also, like usual, there is a link below in the description to the Discord server. You can join us on Discord so that way we can further discuss the indicators and have discussions as we move forward building our trading system. And lastly, like usual, there is a link below to TradingView. If you like what you see whenever I use TradingView, and you are interested in signing up for TradingView, if you use the link below and sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money. So, all right, everybody, I will see you